Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Peaky Blinders. This episode 1 of season 4. Hopefully you guys are excited for this season. Honestly, what a fantastic show this is. I can't wait to see what the season has in store for us. Last season was crazy, you know. Tommy decided Grace was the girl that he wanted to be with, and fast forward a little bit and they've got a kid together, mate. Very, very interesting. But in episode 2, after John pissed off, the Italians, you know, threatened to kill one of the big guy's boss's sons. They retaliated and he ended up shooting Grace at her own charity event and she ended up dying. So it's crazy, mate. Did not expect that at all. We also had beef between the Russians and the Soviets, you know. Tommy was hired to carry out a mission. This mission was to transport like armored vehicles on trains, and what the Soviets wanted to do is for the Shelbys to blow it up to make it look like the Russians have done an assault here on UK soil, which would cut connections, you know, with the diplomatic do you know what I mean, like communications between them all, and you know, start a crazy war. So they ended up doing that and going through with the task, and you know, they took Tommy's son as well. They made sure that they went through with it. They took his son as collateral and he wanted him to do this, and when they'd done it they would get him back. But they decided as well that they wanted to not go through with it, and their plan was to go and rescue him, grab the son, ring through Arthur, tell him, you know, we don't need to blow the trains up. But they managed to do that, but not enough time, mate. Arthur managed to blow the train up, killed loads of innocent people, obviously successfully done the mission. Later on in the episode, we seen, you know, Arthur was trying to leave. He was going to move to America with his wife. They wanted to start a quiet life, but no. Other plans was in store, mate. The police come into the house, they raided it, every single person got arrested, only Tommy is left standing, and he said, look, mate, have faith in me, I will get you out. So it is madness, mate. All the Shelbys have been arrested, Tommy's left, you know, we still got all this crazy stuff going on. I'm really excited to see what we have in store for us. Hopefully it's another crazy action-packed series, and yeah, thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into the first episode of season 4 of Peaky Blinders.
There's been a mistake. There's an appeal process underway that doesn't begin until January. I want to see my lawyer, Mr. Patrick. Stop!
I wonder how far into the future we are. They all look different.
Michael! Michael! Arthur! Michael! Arthur! John! Where's Tommy? Arthur, you have to call the king.
About what?
About this. Hampton Court, Shelby discovered a box of correspondence. Among the papers he stole was that letter from the king himself, which proves His Majesty was involved.
Put me through to His Majesty. We'll wake him up!
Yo, who's fast tracked to the hanging? I mean, I know that we've just had like a singing start, but I want us to have our normal song as well after this now, because I love that, mate. It's a tune. But, mate, Tommy has got a box of evidence signed by King Arthur himself. Do you know what I mean? That's bare evidence, that, mate. You know, it's worth letting his family go and letting him, you know, live, for him to burn the evidence right in front of that guy. He said that Tommy agreed, you know, like, let my family go, make sure they're all alive, and I'll burn it all right in front of you. That's the deal that they've got to take.
Also, sir, in return for burning the king's letters, Thomas Shelby has asked for something else. Inclusion in this year's New Year's honours list.
Hey.
Thomas Shelby has asked for the king to award him an OBEs.
1 year later, 23rd of December.
I'm going home for Christmas, Mr. Shelby.
Tomorrow.
I've wrapped all Charlie's presents and left them in the room. You're due at the Singer factory at 8 tomorrow, not 8:30, is a union problem. Tommy, I've had Christmas cards from John, Arthur, Ada, Michael and Polly, and an invitation.
Party at John's big house. Good for him.
Tommy, you've never even seen Arthur's kid, nor John and Esme's.
Who did you get for me?
Rita.
I said someone new.
Understood.
Can't live like this another year.
Sex, freedom, whiskey sours. Which one should I give up first, Lizzie?
Oh, Michael.
I told you didn't need to come home Christmas Eve. I could have dealt with it.
Yeah, like you dealt with it at the pressings factory. Wire cutting shop.
All the wire cutters here are women. That's why the union convener thinks they're being underpaid.
There are no men in the cutting shop, so there can be no comparatives.
That's a woman. Union
boss.
convener causing all the trouble.
How's your mother? Drove past her house. The drain pipe was hanging off.
Look, the cocaine keeps me awake. Very long hours these days, and when I do sleep, I dream about what happened.
The spirit she sees, believe they're real. And eventually, you can take the remembered noose from around her neck like a horse that's been choked off.
Find out about that woman, Jesse Eden. Don't let your mother keep cash in the house. And oi,
Take your snow.
no cocaine on our registered premises.
Right, what I want to know is how big time is Tommy now? Like, you know, how much percentage of the business is legal? And it seems like, obviously, the family is still not forgiving for, obviously, the deals that he done last season and, obviously, the positions that they've all found themselves in. You know, Polly's suffering. She's still seeing spirits and stuff from being put in that noose. You know, her life is flashing before her eyes. So you can kind of understand, like, where she's coming from in that situation. And then the other brothers, obviously, they're probably just still angry about him. But it's one of these, like, you know, he needs to go there. They need to have a fight. They need to, you know, let their anger out, hit him, go mad at him, say all they need to do, you know, get all the shit off the chest, and then they can move forward from it. Because it sounds to me that they're all suffering from not having somebody in a position of authority in charge, stamping down, you know, laying the law out, mate, and keeping them under control. It sounds like they're all just spiraling and circling and going, and Tommy needs to come and he needs to stamp his authority. That's what I take from it anyway. But it seems like he's focusing on business quite a lot. He's got his Harry Potter glasses on, do you know what I mean? He needs to get his wand out and wish some magic, you know what I'm saying? But it's interesting that everybody's kind of suffering right now, and I don't know how far advanced into the future it is from them being arrested last season, obviously, for them to be in the prison to being released now. But it is interesting. It is right up to Christmas right now, so it's only like, what, 1 or 2 days, and then, you know, Christmas Day.
Did you see they all came? Yeah, I saw you at the back. It's funny they don't notice.
She's not looking good, is she?
Inside the Mary Loop.
Elizabeth Grey.
Thought we lost you to the Great White Way of Broadway.
Well, this beats Watery Lane, John.
You still gonna come to the party New Year's Eve?
Yeah? Who else is coming?
After Linda.
Who'll pay for your car and driver, Ada?
Shelby Company Limited.
John had a rope around his neck. He shit himself.
All right. Let's make
That you would, wouldn't you?
Oh, go in the kitchen.
Take a curse. Back to the money.
They're all in a bad way. Are they all getting this or what?
Be careful with Billy in there, there's a cock.
Yeah, I will.
And don't smoke that near him.
All right. Get out of it.
Esme called to say Ada's on our way over.
New woman. She the one leading this thing?
You don't have a women's lavatory on the second floor because no women get this far up. The male wire cutters in the Rover factory a mile and a half down the road are paid 10 shillings a week more than the female wire cutters here. You own the Lanchester Car and Van factory in the name of Tilton Company Limited, the Billings Machine Tools factories at Haymills and Greet in the name of Stetchford Engineering. Tommy Shelby, OBE. No, it's not about you. It's about 10 shillings a week for working mothers so they can buy shoes for the kids.
How would I choose myself?
So now you deny others.
I will conduct myself as a businessman.
Who says sweetheart?
You say there is a 10-shilling disparity between male and female cutters in 2 of my factories. I will increase the pay of the female cutters in this factory by 5 shilling, and I will cut the pay of the male cutters in the Rover by 5 shilling.
You do that, I will bring all my members out on strike.
Oh, yeah? A week after Christmas, you think so? I've heard lots of whistles blow, sweetheart.
That was interesting, that, actually. Do you know what, yeah? I know, like, these times are different to modern day society, but I'm a firm believer, obviously, in the present, that if somebody's doing the same work as somebody else, regardless of age, because age massively plays, like, I know we're talking about sex right now, but, like, age massively plays a factor in it. Like, somebody will come in 18 who's fresh, and, like, they could do the same job, exactly the same output, the same everything. They'll achieve the same results and do the same amount of work with the same amount of effort as someone who's been there 20 years. But this 20-year person, people would say they deserve more money because they've been there for 20 years. But, like, I get it. I totally understand where they're coming from with that. But it's like everybody who's doing the same job with the same outcome and the same results, they all should be paid equal. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of whether you're you know, 18 or 40, whether you're male or female. Like, everybody who does the same thing should be paid the same, in my personal opinion. Now, it's interesting what he's saying there. He's like, look, mate, you know, if my factory, I'm also a firm believer that different factories, different businesses get paid different rates. You know, you could have one here, like a baker's, for example, everybody in there getting 10 quid, and then another baker's here, everyone getting 11 quid. Now, two different shops, two different bakers, two different products, outputs. Might be the same thing, but it's different. So like he was saying, if it's that much of a concern, yeah, we'll drop them by 5 and we'll give you the 5. Everybody's on the same level playing field. She didn't like that because he's going to be obviously an outcry here. And then obviously, so she's going to go on the defence here and say everybody's going to go on strike. So Tommy owns pure stuff, mate. They're absolute millionaires.
I'm sorry to keep asking, but Chef needs to know how many for dinner tomorrow. He's foreign, he gets very upset.
I thought Charlie could do with some company, so I asked Johnny Dogs if he knew anyone who'd like to eat goose. And he said he knew 26. You've put up with me this past year, looked after Charlie when I've been on business tomorrow. He'll eat at my table.
Things will get better, I think, next year.
You need loyal people, don't you? You do need those loyalists. Who's it off? Oh, the Italians.
As you know, Arthur's previous endeavours have left us with no need for a salary. Arthur occupies his time in the garden, doing voluntary work. He drives old people and cripples.
I'll go. I've got it.
He got a letter, didn't he? I've not seen John though. We've seen Polly and Tommy get one, and obviously Arthur.
I just got delivered a black fucking hand to the house. You know what the black hand means? I'm on the wops, Arthur. It's mafia shit.
Stay here. Ada, please. Linda, you stay here.
I need to make a fucking call.
What the fuck is this? Nothing to you. Tell me what the fuck it is.
Give it here.
What is it?
It's from Luca Changretta. Right, we killed his dad. The Black Hand came here. Everybody will have got one. They're coming for us all.
Bobby served a Black Hand. And she won't even let me keep her fucking spud gun in the house.
So they've been marked then. All of them have been warned. They're coming after.
Some eggs, you give them to Polly, all right? And you, keep your eyes on the road.
She's going to be sprinting to that next phone call. This is where they got the Changretta like leader, didn't they? He was trying to flee.
Take off the hat. Are you with those other Italians?
We're Americans, says it right there on the paper.
Left the door open.
Change the air. I told you I was busy today. What do you want?
Why haven't you opened your post?
Tied it up?
Any other messages for Tommy?
Yeah, fuck off.
You saw that your drain pipe was broken.
Is that all you asked about drain pipes?
Me and Lizzie decided that this new year, we're all to turn a page. You can't spend another year like this, Mum. One for you and Ada. One for you and me.
So Tommy said keep it off the whiskey.
She knows the score, doesn't she? She's not lost it too much.
My son needs the employment of Shelby Company Limited.
She's not lost it that much. She's still quite smart, isn't she? She knows it. She knows what Tommy's trying to play. His whiskey, Santa of his demon. He's going to absolutely neck that. Yeah, I like that.
Hello, Tommy. Hello, Ada. Welcome home. Thanks. It's nice to be back.
I've spoken to Moss. Moss says that Changretta is a soldier for the Spignetti family, which means that he'll have men with him, professional men. They usually operate in units of around 10. If we stay out in the open isolated, he'll pick us off one by one. In a 4-mile radius of the garrison, every man is a guard and a soldier for us. I'm calling a family meeting.
Do you think I'm on the list?
We're all on the list, Ada.
I gave my gun to Arthur.
So he just said that these would kill anybody. Do you know what I mean? Husbands, wives, kids. Now, I know it's savage to say, you know, you want somebody to die, but I want one of them to die, you know? Like, it's a show. I'm not a psycho in real life, but I'm a sucker for like a mad storyline and a twist and a death, and it's impactful and something unexpected, and then that releases the craziness that follows it. Do you know what I'm saying? So like we had the Grace one last season, didn't expect it, and we had a good season coming after it. You know, I would like it again that maybe somebody comes after Ada, or somebody comes after Polly, or somebody comes after John's wife, Esme, or Arthur's. One of them gets killed or shot or badly injured. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe they take a kid again, because there's nothing more like than a crazy parent, is there? Do you know what I mean? There's nothing more better than to watch than like two wars going at it, two crazy, a person trying to defend his family. That would be the exciting stuff. But he seems scared, which I like, because Tommy seems to be this big man right now, and he said that they're coming in, and usually like parties of 10. We only seen 3 that come through the docks just then, didn't we? That was the docks that the Chengretta family, they wanted to leave, didn't they? They was trying to flee to go to America, and they caught him there. They let his wife go, but they took him. And obviously Tommy wanted to cut him piece by piece, little by little. But he was retaliating because they killed his wife. Do you know what I'm saying? And now they're retaliating because he killed their dad or their boss. So it's kind of interesting, really. Because yes, okay, John pissed them off, and John kind of had a fight with them. But they took the first one in the kill. And then the Blinders, the Shelbys retaliated, and then they've come again, and they're ready to retaliate.
Holy shit. It's Father Christmas.
Yeah, and if you're good,
Look at all them guns.
you get what you deserve.
Yeah, put me through to Maypole 245.
He's ready, yeah.
Family meeting, Charlie's Yard, Boxing Day, midday. If you have to pull a gun on Linda, do it. Merry Christmas.
My tablets were in the bathroom cabinet. What did you do with them?
I threw them in the lavatory.
Tommy's orders.
No, my own decision.
It was Tommy's order, so.
Hello, Polly. Now listen, something's happened. Things have changed. Today, everyone in the family received one of these.
Sober up now, clear head.
Was it me?
Tommy's called a family meeting.
Imagine getting one of them, your ass would fall out, wouldn't you? You wouldn't know what to do.
I'm really sorry to bother you again, sir, but Chef insists on knowing what time the guests will arrive.
He said he was new, this chef.
You might have found out where they all live.
Foreign.
He's Italian, sir.
I knew he was.
Are they still working, Francis?
They'll be there till midnight, sir.
He's thinking about killing him in there, but he can't.
What about your offer? I'd be happy to sit at your table.
Oh, that was well cute from her. Mate, he's thinking about going down there, but you can't really do anything. Can you make it worse by killing him, or what?
What's your name?
Max, Mr. Shelby.
Max. It's all right, don't get up. What have you done that's so wrong, eh? Sous chef, peeling potatoes.
It's an emergency. Like notice.
Antonio, yeah, £10 for the late notice.
That was interesting. Why is he giving him that?
You wanted to know if my guests would arrive before or after the King's speech? It'll be after. How much did you pay, Antonio?
I forget.
Must be a lot. I just gave him £10. Didn't mean a fucking thing to him.
Oh, yeah?
You used to work in a place called San Marcos. I used to know the man that owned San Marcos. A man called Darby Sabini.
Sabina?
I've never met him.
You want me to dress you like I dressed that fucking stag, please? You wanted to know when my guests would arrive because Antonio needed me alone. He's an assassin. Plan is to kill me tomorrow. I'll bring him in.
Antonio! Huh?
How many came from New York? Hey, how many fucking came from New York?
Fanculo.
He said fuck you!
Yeah, he said that from Culo.
You tell Darby Sabini. He picked the wrong side in this war. We dealt with the Americans. Let's go for him.
Boy, he looks so good, Tommy, there. They done really good with the blood and that.
I know, 335.
Whoa, one time before we go into that. Mate, I thought it was the Italians from last season, but maybe it's Sabina. I always wonder what happened to him, actually. You know, he absolutely done him in, didn't he, at the races? He took, you know, like, on that day, or the last time he was kind of in it, the Blinders dominated him, destroyed all of his betting posts, didn't they? You know, all of his certifications and whatnot. And then Tommy was took out into the middle of the woods when he made. He luckily survived, obviously, because Campbell and Church got a job for him. But it's interesting that now we've come back to it. That was crazy. That, you know, I like what he done. He gave that guy 10 quid. Yeah, that's kind of like giving me 10 grand. You know, if someone give it me, like my boss, I'd be like, wow, thanks. You know what I mean? The guy's just like, cheers, put it in his pocket. He was like, mate, 10 quid, nothing to him. Guy didn't even blink an eye. Clearly, you're not paying him, somebody else is. That was really smart. I was wondering. I said, like, why did he just give him a tenner? And then, like, he's just explained it. I thought it was well clever.
Robert, is there a gypsy in the public bar playing the fiddle for shillings? Yes. You tell him I need to speak to him.
Oh, fuck, Tom. I thought these sporting days were over.
Yeah, so did I.
Will there still be geese for dinner?
Only if you can steal them on the way.
On the way where?
We're going back, Johnny. Back to Smallheath.
To the Bengal Romany chow, Tommy.
No, Michael, shut up and listen. Gotta get everyone out. Get Polly and Ada to Charlie's yard. I've told Arthur, but I can't reach John.
Got nothing better to do on Christmas morning.
Tommy wants everybody at Charlie's yard now, come on.
Look, John, we don't have time for this. All right, just come to the meeting. Have some food.
John, come to the meeting. All right, think about the kids. Come to the meeting, and if you want to leave, then fine.
Oh, Michael. That is a way to end the episode, isn't it, mate? Bloody hell. So, we've got there John and Michael being absolutely mowed down by the mafia at the end, you know. Esme, I keep saying it, me, but I want the women to step up. And, you know, let's talk about equal pay in this episode, mate. Equal gang kills and death rights, mate. You know, yeah, I don't know. I just want, like, she clearly, like, says she could defend herself and she wants to be in it, but, like, maybe not as far in it as this, you know. But now her husband's obviously been mowed down. I don't think John's dying. But again, I said in this episode, I like statements. I like it when a family member gets killed or like somebody gets put in a bad way, because there's not, or a kid gets taken, because there's nothing more savage than an vengeful family member that wants to get back at you for taking somebody out that they love. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like Taken, for example. You know, I will find you, I will kill you. It's the classic. You know what I mean? His daughter was taught. Liam Neeson's not resting until he's found those people and he's going to avenge it. So, like, that's what I love to see it. I knew something like this would happen. Grace, episode 2 last season. This is episode 1. You know, the mafia, they're not messing about, mate. They've dealt their hand, well, they give the black hand out, haven't they? They've sent it to everybody. They let them know that we are coming for you. And you know what? What better Christmas present than a bullet to the chest? You know what I mean? It's mad, mate. You know, Tommy was done really well in terms of finding out who was in his house, you know. Asked too many questions, to be honest. You know, he kind of made it more suspicious that something was happening. They wanted to try and get Tommy alone in certain situations. You know, you going to do it before or after the speech? Do you know what I mean? He's trying to figure out, what's this guy on about? Like, why is he so concerned? He's gone down, asked questions, give somebody 10 quid, didn't even react. Obviously, 10 quid's like 10 grand in present day, probably. He's saying, well, you're not paying him, somebody else is. This guy's part of the mob, brought him in, had a fight, killed him. I thought the blood was really good on him. Tommy looked sick. You know, he said, go back to London, go and tell Sabina, you know, like, we're coming for him. So, again, really interesting. That I like how Sabini's been brought back into it. The fact that, like I said, when he was in season 2, he was really good and intimidating, and obviously Tommy went after him and dominated him at the derby, you know, and burnt all of his stands at the races. So it's good that he's coming back and he's not disappeared, and I'm excited to see what we've got from here. It's kind of like, this episode's a mixture. It's like slow burner, but really intense and really exciting, and a good action at the end, and it's just set up the season to be, you know, hopefully chaotic and interesting, because we know that loads of Italians have come in to the UK now, so now they're going to constantly be looking over their shoulders. So I can't wait, obviously, to watch the next episode. Okay, now it's going to wrap up the first episode of season 4. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Crazy chaotic at the end. Looks like John could possibly be dead. Looks like Michael could possibly be dead. Polly, you know, she's kind of like not in a right same place right now. We've seen at the very start that all 4 of them, we had Arthur, John, Michael and Polly with nooses around the neck, and he was seconds away from obviously being killed. Now Tommy, yeah, he offered to, well, he sent through kind of like a letter signed by the king King Arthur, do you know what I mean? That obviously shown that they was part of this train. This is what I believe anyway. I might have got it wrong, but part of obviously what happened last season with the Russians and the Soviets, and it had King Arthur's signature on it. And basically they were saying that if we don't fall, or if we don't cave into these demands, then if these letters get out, it is bad news. So the fact that if we spare these 4 lives, Tommy's offered to burn all of this shit in front of us and get rid of the evidence, which means that there'd be no, obviously, evidence against the king. And he's also asked for an OBE as well, which obviously they granted. Now obviously we've got another woman coming. She wants equal rights pay, doesn't she? She's campaigning kind of like against it. She's saying the factory that they're working in, they're getting paid 10 quid or 10 cents or whatever's less than the men. And Tommy's saying, well, 2 different factories, 2 different money. If you want the same pay, then we'll take 5 quid off them, we'll up it and give you the 5 quid, and then everybody's on the same page. Then obviously she was saying, she's going to go on strike. Tommy was saying that these guys, if they do that, will come and blame these. Like they have to explain to their family why obviously their wages decreasing and obviously the support for them. She said that she's going to protest. Just wait until after Christmas. She's going to bring everybody out there. She listed all of these companies that the Shelby's own, obviously under different entities. And Tommy's like, if you're going to do it, go for it. I'd be interested to see. So I'm interested as well, because we did have last season, the women, they did go to a rally, didn't there? Polly was on the back of the van apparently, getting bigger crowds, and whoever it was, it might have been the same woman, to be honest. Now again, like I said, Polly, she's seeing spirits and ghosts and that. She's not really that sane. So I'm just excited to see Sabini back. Obviously the Chingrettas as well are still here. I don't know if they've got some sort of family relation, business working ship going. I don't know, but I'm glad that both of them have been dropped in. Tommy did kill their family last, and actually Tommy didn't. He intended to kill him, didn't he? He wanted to cut him up, obviously, for what happened to Grace, but in the end he couldn't really muster up the strength to actually start. He said that he was going to cut him up here, piece by piece, take an ear off and then another one, and his nose and then a bit of his cheek, and take some of his leg and his arm and his nails, rip them off, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't get that courage to do it, and Arthur ended up putting him out the misery and just boom, popped him, and he was like, look Tommy, we'll get rid of the body and we'll move on. Now obviously they tried to move on. Arthur's got long hair, he's on a farm. It's crazy. He looks mad, but like I said, he's got the phone call, he knows the score, he's got a weapon, he's been waiting for this phone call, he's coming to this meeting, and I can't believe that obviously Michael and John has just been mowed down at the end. So I can't wait to watch the next episode. I'm going to watch it today. Hopefully you come and tune in tomorrow and leave your opinions on what you think of the season. Thanks so much for checking out today's video. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.